Hey Cameron, how are things going with you right now? I know you said you might have to stay later today for work, but I thought that I'd just check to make sure that wasn't the case.
Actually, I was able to get out sooner than I was thinking. I'm about to get to the bus station and transfer onto the subway there. Did you need something from me?
I'm so happy to hear that. Since you're almost there now, can you run by the supermarket near the station and grab me some milk before you get on the subway? And it's the milk with the blue label on the jug that we always drink that I want. You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah, I know which one that is. The same old that you're always wanting from there, right? I'll pick it up for you before I get home.
Thank you so much, and only a half gallon will do. A gallon would be too much for us again, and it would just go bad. And the reason I want the milk is because it's a really cold day today, and I was thinking of making that mac and cheese bake you really like.
Really? Thank God for that. The last time you made that stuff for me, it was so good I finished the whole pan off in a day. Hey, you want me to pick us up some dessert or something while I'm at the store too? I can get us a cake if you'd like. I really want to have an awesome dinner today, so I think that would be a good touch for after the bake. And this is partially a celebration for the bonus my boss is promising me, so you don't mind us celebrating that in advance, right? I can pick up some other things to eat and drink if you'd like. What do you want?
Are you kidding me? Oh, that's so amazing to hear at a time like this. I wonder if that bonus has to do with all the hard work you've been putting in while studying at home. Well, if you're going to be picking me up something as well that's to my liking, I'd like some ice cream to go with the cake.
I'll make sure to get you chocolate. You know, a lot of this is thanks to you, Ashley, and all the help you'd given me, so I'm gonna make sure to get us a really fancy cake from that bakery right next to the bus drop-off. Parents told me already that if I'm gonna be getting married now, I need to be celebrated for it by the both of them. My dad told me that my mom has everything all figured out, so I don't need to worry about a thing.
That's not what I'm talking about. This has nothing to do with what your mom and dad are saying. I'm wanting to know who it is that's getting married right now and why you are going out to celebrate something like that with your parents.
I get what you're asking now. I'm getting married to someone by the name of Kathy. I only met with her for the first time a half a year ago or so, after my mom went and introduced her to me. But we've been going out with one another since then, all for the purpose of getting married to each other. I was told by my mom not too long ago that it's getting time for me to tie the knot with someone, and she told me that Kathy was really wanting to get married soon as well. So when I asked her to marry me and she said yes, my parents both told me that we have to celebrate our engagement now. Therefore, tomorrow I'll be going out for lunch with them to celebrate. Do you understand now?
Huh? I have no idea what the heck is going on here. Cameron, do you have any clue what you were just saying to me there?
What are you talking about?
What the hell is this about you getting engaged to another woman who you plan to marry now? You've been going out with me this whole entire time, right? You and I have been living together with one another under the same frickin' roof. We've been going out with one another for 5 whole years now and have been living together for 3. Yet you're telling me now that your plan is to marry a completely different woman because your mom introduced you to her?
I guess things like this would end up happening.
What the hell do you mean you guess things like this would end up happening? Listen, Cameron, I know that recently you've been going back to your parents an awful lot, saying that you've had all kinds of things you had to get done there, but have all those moments where you've gone back to their house been you going to meet up with that other woman?
Yeah, that's right. My mom has been telling me that I have to do my best to come home and meet with her more often and go on dates with her so that she doesn't lose interest in me. And she's actually been really fun to hang out with, so I never minded.
You have a woman at home who you've been dating for years now, yet you go back to your parents' place to go on dates with another? Listen, Cameron, are you even aware that what you're saying means you've been going out with 2 different women at the same time?
What? Is that a bad thing or something? It's not like you and I ever got engaged to one another, so what's the big deal with me having another woman?
Huh?
You and I don't have any plans of getting married, right? We just happen to be living under the same roof together. Yet you're making a huge deal out of me wanting to marry someone else now? I'm sorry, but are you trying to cause issues for my fiancé and I now or something?
Huh?
I really do like you a lot, and you're the kind of person I really enjoy living with a lot as well. But when it comes to Kathy, well, I can't really say that I hate her or anything. And since it's my parents who are saying that I should be getting married to Kathy now, I'm gonna be getting married to Kathy. It's as simple as that, really. Do you understand?
It's as simple as that?
Well, anyway, when it comes to this coming Sunday, I'm not really going to be able to hang out with you any. And now when it comes to your ice cream, are you looking for more of a standard chocolate or would you want something with chocolate chunks in it as well? And I'm not going to forget to buy that milk for you before coming home, all right?
Don't bother coming home.
What? Why can't I?
Don't you ask me why I said that again. Now don't you ever come back to this house. Why the hell did you think there was no meaning to the both of us frickin' living in the same house together? What the hell was our relationship to you, Cameron? We have been dating this long because I wanted to frickin' marry you. Nothing about it was just the 2 of us splitting the bills here to cut costs or anything. I loved you and wanted to become your wife someday. What the hell do you mean you want to live with me, but when it comes to having a wife, you prefer Kathy? You go and frickin' screw yourself, you giant asshole.
Wait, what? Why are you getting so upset at me right now, huh?
I always thought that when it came to arguments with you, it was best to be delicate so that we never ruined the love we had for one another. But today you have proven to me that there is no point in delicacy because you have done and said the worst things known to man. There were so many things about you that pissed me off a bit, but now you have really gone and set me the hell off. We're breaking up now. I'm going to send every frickin' thing of yours that's in my house to your parents' place, so stay the hell away from me. I don't ever want to see your smug face ever again.
Excuse me, Ashley, but what has gotten into you? Cameron just came all the way home to us out of nowhere, and for some reason he came in carrying both a thing of milk and a big cake. All he said to me before going to his old room was that you're upset with him over something, and nothing more. Did the 2 of you get into a fight or something?
That didn't happen because of a fight. We broke up.
What? You 2 ended up breaking up? I see why he's home now, but why did something like that happen so quickly?
Happened so quickly? Even though he and I have been living together for 3 years now, I heard him say he was introduced to another woman and is now become engaged to her. When those words all entered my head, of course I was ready to drop him like he meant nothing to me, because he doesn't anymore.
Oh my. So that's what led to you both getting into a fight and breaking up, huh?
Colleen, what the heck were you trying to do here? I hear that it was you who recommended Cameron go meet with that woman and then get married to her down the road. That's what Cameron himself told me you'd done. You've known for a very long time now that he and I have not only been a thing, but that we were living under the same roof, right? You met me a whole bunch even before we started to live together, and I'd been to all sorts of your guys' family events before as well. But when it comes to that woman, he only met her half a year ago, right? Tell me, Colleen, what is your reason behind introducing your son to another woman like that when you know he's been dating and living with me?
I'm not sure I can tell you the reason why. Well, if you want to hear the truth, it has to do with me wanting my son to marry a really good woman. And I want for him to become happy with her for the rest of his life, all right? In other words, I was looking out for Cameron as his mother should do. Instead of being with some basic woman who comes from a basic family and only does the bare minimum at home when it comes to chores and such, I wanted him with someone more interesting. Someone from a really good family, and with someone who would marry my son for the sake of doing everything and anything he could ask her for, all right?
Huh?
While Cameron's been young, I've thought that it's been totally okay for him to go out and be with different women and enjoy the different kinds of sexual pleasures they may offer him. But with him becoming a bit more important to his company and him getting up there in age now, I felt that he's no longer in that stage of life where he should be messing around with you anymore. When it comes to Cameron, he happens to not only be working for a very large and popular company, but he is our one and only son who we take massive pride in. So that's why I went ahead and set him up with a woman that would better fit the man he is now and will soon become.
So you're saying that all I was to Cameron was a toy for him to enjoy himself with? You thought that he and I were just enjoying one another's body this whole time with no serious goals later on while living together under my roof?
Listen, please, I never actually wanted my son to live in the same house as you like he'd done. I knew that when something like today, where you're both breaking up with one another, came along, it would be tough for him. But I remembered that he had moved far away from us for his work, and even during his time in college, he hadn't really done anything for himself besides study and work. And when it comes to things like chores and cooking, his current job wouldn't allow him all the free time to take care of those things, right? That's why, after thinking things over for a little bit, I allowed him to move in with you, like he'd done. By having someone who could do all the chores at home for him, I felt a lot better about things.
What the hell am I hearing right now? So you never actually wanted him living with me as though I was his girlfriend, but as if I were his housemaid? You allowed him to move in with me because I'd be able to take care of all his needs while he worked?
Well, if I were to say it like that, I'd feel a bit wrong about it all. I'm sorry, Ashley. I know I shouldn't be saying this, but the woman he's currently engaged to now happens to be his executive director's daughter of all people. If he's able to get married to someone like her, then his future is going to be safe and secure, and he'll never have to worry about a thing. His father and I will never have to worry about a thing. I would love it if you could understand that for me. Now I ask that you please just let him be and take yourself out of the picture. If you'd like to stay friends with him or anything like that, you're more than welcome to do that, though.
What? Is that right? After all the times I came out and celebrated your birthday and you celebrated mine, and all the times we would go out together and grow closer, I was the only one thinking that someday you would become my mother-in-law? To you, though, I was nothing more than your son's toy and tool, and that's why you went and spent that time with me? Really, all I ever was to the bunch of you was Cameron's housemaid and not a thing more, right? And not only was he able to live in my house for free, but you had me paying for most of his needs when he'd ask for something he'd want. Yet now that he's got himself a new woman, and they're about to become husband and wife, you just want me to screw off? Huh. Alrighty then, Colleen. I can't believe this is how things have really been. You and your son better be careful not to screw with people too much like you've done to me so far, or else you both will be burning in hell like the rest of the mindless dickheads in this world. I've already broken up with him, so don't you even try letting me know that it's still all right for me to be his friend, because I'm not going to be anything to that man anymore. I already told the guy to never, ever come around me ever again, so please, let him know that once more for me.
Oh, is that so? Well, as long as you're going to stay away from him on a romantic level, do what you'd like. Have a good one, I guess.
Hiya! Today I just went and got married with Cameron. I just thought I'd be kind and let you know about all of that today. What? I'm sorry, but who is this? What? You don't remember me at all, Ashley? Oh, my name is Kathy. This is Kathy. You and I went to the same exact school with one another until the end of middle school, right? Wait, is this the same Kathy that lived close to my parents' house back during that time? The same exact Kathy that would always think of herself as a god because her parents had money and would call everyone else poor and treat them like crap thinking you were in the right? That Kathy? The same Kathy that went and hassled all of her favorite classmen for brand goods and would whine and cry when none of them would pay attention to you? That Kathy? The same Kathy that got her first phone in 8th grade before everyone else and would brag about it before one day a teacher took it from you, which made you upset and led you to smash a window with your fist. That Kathy? And the same Kathy that then got expelled from our school at the end of the year for all of that and never came back? This is actually bringing back so many memories for me now. How have you been doing, Kathy? Are you making fun of me right now? Ashley? Not really, no. I was just remembering all of those memories I had of you from back in the day is all. So, what's going on with you? You're telling me that you're the one that ended up getting married to Cameron? That's right, I'm the one. I'm sure you're surprised by that, right? Back when I first heard that someone like you was going out with a man like Cameron, I thought to myself that there was nothing in common between the both of you, and that surprised me. How could a gloomy loser like you be together with someone like him? Tell me, what kind of lies did you tell him, or tricks did you pull to trap yourself a man like Cameron? You think I lied and trapped him? We just happened to be in the same club with one another in college, and he was the one who started to talk to me first. Is that right? Well, none of that really means anything to me now. Currently, he is now my man and will be forever. I am seriously sorry for stealing your elite boyfriend from you when he was about to start making bank at the company. And at your age, there's no real chance of you ever going out with a high-end man like him again, right? And when it comes to marriage, you're going to have to deal with all the leftovers that are nothing compared to Cameron, right? I mean, you think anyone else is going to be able to put up with the parasite you were when you'd suck away all of Cameron's money? I feel so bad for someone as disgusting as you. Too bad that you weren't able to become a celebrity wife like me, you poor loser. Did you know that starting next week, I'll be moving into a penthouse on the top floor of a condo building downtown? I'll become his housewife, and from then on, I'll be living my life as the celebrity wife you had always wished to becoming, right? Make sure to be jealous of him and I for the rest of your life, okay? Just like always, you really love to just sit there and run your mouth like a bitch. Was that really your only reason for getting back in touch with me after so many years? Well, considering the type of sad woman you are, you can't be working right now and must have all the time in the world to talk, right? I see. Since this is a one-in-a-chance time for me, I guess I'll say what's on my mind now. Actually, I've had something on my chest which I've longed to say to the woman Cameron was getting married to. What's that? I am really so thankful for what you've done. You have helped me out so much, Kathy. Huh? What the hell has gotten into you? Are you trying to act all tough now? No, not at all. I am thanking you right now from the bottom of my heart. I was a bit worried if he'd been with someone who had no idea what she was in for with him, but when you made it clear to me that you of all people were the one who got married to him, I think the outcome is going to be just fine. I think you both and the both of his parents are going to work out perfectly together now. Let me just say, good luck to you. I'm serious, you're really going to need all the luck you can get with this one. What the... You're sounding more and more like a sore loser with every word that you say, and you look like a total idiot right now. You don't have to wish me any luck because I know this marriage with him is going to go better than whatever sort of relationship you think you can pull off next. And remember, unlike a total waste of time like you, I'm the daughter of a wealthy and powerful man. And I'm the one that's not only spoiled by Cameron himself right now, but his mother and father as well. So you just sit back while sucking on your finger and watch my... Help me! Hey, Ashley, help me out right now! Hey! Oh no, what's going on with you right now, Mrs. Celebrity Wife? How could you ever ask for help from some simple loser like myself right now, even? Have you gotten to the point where even you're counting yourself as a degenerate now? This is not the time for you to be messing around with me like that. There is something seriously wrong with Cameron. If anything, he has to be sick in his head or something because of the way he's acting now. Does he have some kind of a chronic disease or something that I should have been aware of? A chronic disease? I have no idea about him having any diseases like that. Did something strange happen between you and him? Just know that the guy is completely off the rails right now. You could say that he became this crazy overnight, or that he's been getting more and more crazy as we've been together. At first, I didn't notice a single thing wrong with him that would make me freak out like this. But over time, he's gone from being the man of my dreams to this sloppy disgrace that I have no clue what to do with. And for the past 2 frickin' months, he's been wearing the same exact shirt without ever changing out of it. Dang, the same exact shirt for the past 2 months, huh? At first, I just assumed he had a lot of the same shirts in his closet or something, but recently there's been this sort of rancid stench coming off of him. When I asked him why he'd been smelling like that recently, he told me that he hadn't cleaned that shirt for 2 months now. And not only that, but he hasn't even been taking a bath or a shower. He told me that since we've got married, he's only ever been in the shower 2 times. Ew, that's freaking gross if you ask me. And not just for a short time either, but for 2 whole months he's been like that? But did it really take you this long to start realizing all of those things going on with him? Wasn't it obvious when he was never tossing any clothes into the hamper for you to put in the laundry? I didn't ever notice a thing at the time, all right? I just assumed that he was doing his own laundry all by himself this whole time, and I never saw him actually doing it. Ah, I get it now. And if that wasn't bad enough, the man's appearance has been changing as well. I'm not sure where he's been buying a lot of the clothes from, but all of his neckties are so weird, as well as his pants and socks and such. But I know one thing for sure, and that's that all of his clothing he buys is really cheap and looks like the stuff a child would be wearing. He's also been having a harder and harder time communicating with me, and the way he talks to himself all the time now makes me feel uneasy. This doesn't make any sense, because before he got married to me, he was wearing really nice clothing all the time. He always said the nicest things to me, and he would never talk to himself either. The fact that he's turned into whatever the hell he is now all of a sudden is too much for me. You thought the guy was dressing well before? Well, thank you so much for the compliment. I never thought you, of all people, would be willing to compliment what I'd done. Huh? Why are you thanking me for saying that? Because I was the one that picked out all of that clothing for him before. I would not only help him buy his clothing, but I'd make sure he wore the right set of clothing each and every day before he left the house. What? I'm going to start spoiling some deep secrets now for you, all right? When it came to how he looked every day when you were seeing him, and anyone else, I was the one behind that fit. I would think about the time, the place, and the occasion for the man and get him an outfit to match. If it weren't for me always doing that for the child, he would go to all of these important company meetings wearing the most ridiculous neckties. And he wouldn't wear leather shoes into work, but sandals and crap. And he would wear just a regular t-shirt under his suit jacket and some strange pants, making himself look almost like a clown. So I made sure to always ask him what his plans were for the day and then get him an outfit to match those plans. At first, not even I had a clue of what was good and what wasn't when it came to fashion, but after studying up on it for a bit, I was able to get him looking a lot sharper. But man, to think that there could be someone on this planet that doesn't even know how to match their own clothes like him makes me think he isn't even human and is an alien of some sort, especially with those silver sweatpants he'll be walking around in all the time. The silver sweatpants? That's the pair of pants I always see him wearing. I assumed that he was just going to some parties or something. No way. Well, if you want to know where those pants came from, they're the ones that he picked out for himself. Isn't that insane? When I saw him picking those pants out of all things, I was very shocked. After so many moments of me warning him about dressing up more fashionably and helping him for months at a time, he'd just revert back to that crap the moment I took my eyes off him. There's no way. I thought he was just trying to get a laugh out of me or something, but that clothing is all the kind of crap he wears on a daily basis? Oh, disgusting. This can't be happening right now. And to make things even more interesting, he knew I'd get upset at him for buying clothes like that, so he started to hide it all from me. You know how he'd do that? He would stop throwing his clothes in the hamper for me to wash and would avoid letting me iron any of his things. There were times I'd find his clothing covered in mold and him still trying to wear it. And not just that, but when looking through the house after we'd broken up, I found boxes full of strange clothes in the basement he'd been hiding, and they all smelled ghastly. Ugh! No way, no way, no way! Right? You'd better be more careful with that guy from now on, all right? If you take your eyes off him for even a second, he is going to turn one of your rooms into his storehouse, where he'll keep all of his nasty, moldy clothing. For myself, I had to spend close to 3 days going through my place, deep cleaning everything with nothing but bleach. All because it wasn't just the basement he'd kept that nasty clothing in, but in corners of the house I couldn't normally see, like behind some doors and furniture. And if his disgusting clothing wasn't already enough for you, he would always leave things like food and drinks out as well. If I never told him to get into the shower, he'd stay out of it, and he never bothered cleaning the toilet either. Things like cleaning, laundry, cooking, all of the chores. I would have to be the one doing it all because he just couldn't understand the concept of being clean and well kept. And no matter how many times I'd try and teach him how to be a proper adult, he'd just forget after 3 days and go back to whatever the hell you'd call his base character. What? You're lying, right? He told me before, though, that he was always doing his chores when he lived by himself, so he would be fine, and he said that to me with so much confidence. I guess he was living by himself when he was going to college, but he never did any of those chores himself. His mom would come all the way out to his dorm room once every 3 days to do all the chores for him, which means that he's extremely useless, and he knows how to do nothing at all. Cleaning and cooking was all left in the hands of his mom. You have to be kidding me. When it came to his job and the work he had to get done, I had to do everything that I could to support him with it all. Whenever he'd have a meeting coming up, I'd have to go through all of his documents, making sure there were no errors. I would even have to correct all of his manuscripts, and 3 days before those meetings and presentations, I'd have him stand in front of me and practice. I had to do all of that because if not, he'd go in front of all of his superiors trying to make these very inappropriate jokes about them. I had to tell him over and over again that the only things he was allowed to say were things I wrote down in red on his papers. And if that wasn't all enough, I would have to go through his business cards every time he updated his to make sure they were all correct and didn't have such typical errors. I would also go and look through all of his coworkers and superiors' social media accounts, looking into the kinds of people they are, so that when it came time for their birthdays and such, I could get them presents for Cameron to give to them, so that he wouldn't look like a total dumbass giving them toys and candy or some BS. And I would also have to make sure to tell him what times he was supposed to go to parties for work and when to go out drinking with his higher-ups. And just in case I were to ever slip up, I made sure to tell all of those that he'd meet his #1 hobby was acting. That way things wouldn't be as awkward when he'd act himself around them. Also, the guy's horrible at remembering people's faces. Even those that he'd met time and time again, he'd walk up to them saying it was nice to meet them and asking for their name and such. To be frank, the guy's anything but an adult when it comes to the way he behaves. What? You had to take care of all those tiny details for the man? So then, the reason he was always doing so well at work is because you were behind the scenes making it all happen for him? That's exactly right, Kathy. I'm not trying to brag at all about any of this, but if the guy isn't supported with all the help he needs, he won't be able to do anything by himself. In other words, it's like having to take care of a vegetable, which is still able to walk and talk. He can't communicate properly, he can't dress properly, he can't work properly, and he can't survive properly. He quite literally can't do anything properly. And that's why, as of right now, without any of my support for so many months now, it's becoming clear to you just how sad of a human being he is, right? If you think that I'm lying about some of these things, by the way, go and have a closer look yourself, would you? I think you'd be very surprised by what the guy is hiding from you. The man you went and ended up with after having fallen head over heels is someone that had to constantly rely on me to get anything and everything done from his job all the way to his home, who had to be treated like an elementary schooler by me and doesn't give a single crap about his own hygiene. The world's worst man ever. You've really done it now. No way. Why did you never tell me anything about him before this? Had I known that he was going to become that kind of a sad person, I would have never ended up marrying him. The only reason I even went and married him in the first place is because I thought he was an elite with all kinds of income. Well, that's too bad for you now, isn't it? You didn't end up with the future where you got married to a put-together man who could give you the celebrity life you'd been wanting. You ended up with a man that requires you to take care of him 24/7 to ensure he doesn't become some kind of a monster. Now, as long as you do what I did for him, he will go right back to being the man you saw me with. But that's going to take a lot of your time and effort now. That's impossible for me. Like, seriously, impossible for someone like me. Hey, please do something about him for me. You come back and support him one more time for us. You can start coming over to the house every day, and you can be the one taking care of him from now on. Make the Cameron from the past come back and be my husband again. You really think that I'm going to say okay to something as unwanted as that? Why should I have to go back to taking care of that dumbass all for the sake of you? You can see just how stupid everything you're saying right now is sounding, right? I will pay you to come here and take care of all his needs. How much would you like for the job? Tell me the price that you want for him and I'll pay it, I promise. No matter how much I'm being paid, I can't be asked to go back to caring for that freak. And as of right now, I'm living such a relaxing and enjoyable life. I don't have to wake up at 3 in the morning every day to start cooking for the guy, and I no longer have to rummage through the closet anymore trying to figure out what to make him wear anymore. I don't have to stay awake until 1 in the morning anymore trying to fix all of his paperwork for his job anymore, and I no longer have to sit around with him anymore having him practice all of his presentations. I don't have to help him remember all of the people he's ever met and who they all are when it comes to buying gifts for them. And I don't have to help him figure out which parties to go to anymore and what to wear at them either. I'm able to wake up when I feel like it in the morning and only do the chores that I need to do. I can work at my job without ever having to worry about how Cameron is doing, and I can go out and enjoy my own lunch. I'm able to go where I want to go on all of my days off, or I can just sit around at home enjoying my hobbies and relaxing. I'm able to study the kinds of things I want to now to improve my skills, and I can take as long as I want now at night caring for things like my hair and my skin before bed. I'm able to watch the movies I want to at night in peace, and I can head to bed at 10 p.m. instead of 1 in the morning when I please. The life I've been given now is so much better than what I had to live through with that walking disaster. Ever since I realized how wonderful life could be for me without someone like Cameron in it, I don't think I can go back to being around him. I can't just buy my own time and energy with your money, you know, so there's no way I'm going back to being that loser's caregiver anymore. How about you start doing all of that by yourself for your marriage's sake? No way. There is no way I can do something like that. I have a job of my own and everything that I need to focus on. So there is just no way in hell that I have the time or energy to deal with someone like Cameron all week. I was able to take care of him while I worked, though, for 5 whole years while I was going out with the guy. But now that I'm finally away from him like this, I think to myself why I had put myself into such a position where I had to raise him like a child every single day. And so far, I still can't find the answer to that question. I was a bit hesitant at first when it came to breaking up with him. But just 3 days after telling him that things were over between the two of us, I got all my energy back and have been feeling like I'm on top of the world now. The world has really opened up for me again, and it just feels like I finally had my eyes open to what truly lies out there for me. You understand what I mean by that. That's why when I heard from you that you'd both be getting married to one another, I thanked you for it. I finally felt at peace with myself and wasn't upset at all about leaving a man like Cameron in your arms instead of mine. Now, as long as you make sure to at least get some sleep and some food into you every week, you'll be able to make that relationship work with him. Good luck to you. I really cannot do this with a man like him. Hey, come on now, do something about all of this. You take responsibility for this mess right now. You're the one that turned Cameron into such a lost cause, right? Now, come on, Kathy. He's always been that useless, even before I found him. All I did was try and support the guy before realizing that he didn't even appreciate my time and effort. And so, when he and I broke up, he went back to being the useless and lousy man that he naturally is, instead of the elite man I was trying to turn him into. So you stop complaining about it all when you're the one that chose to marry him. If you're looking for someone to blame for all of this, then find the one responsible for the way he is now. I told his mother about him as well already, about how strange he's been recently, but the only thing she ever has to say as a response to me is that I need to make sure to take great care of him for her. Well, if even his own mom is asking you to take care of him for her, then there really isn't a single damn thing I can do to help. Not like she's asking me to do anything. Try your best now. Damn it! Why? Why the hell has this happened to me?
Ashley, it's been a long while now. Have you been doing all right for yourself?
What do you want from me now, Cameron?
Are you upset with me or something? I feel like you have something against me right now, but I'm not sure what it could be. Or are you just on your period or something?
The only reason I'm upset right now is because I'm having to answer some texts from you. So what is this about? Why do you want to talk with me now?
Oh, right. Well, my mom had a really bad fall and is in the hospital right now. I was told that she can't really walk anymore and is waiting on some more scans. And the doctor told me that when she does get out of here, she's going to need to be cared for. But I have work and all of that still, so I don't think I'll be able to watch over her. I wouldn't mind putting her up in some old folks' home, but at the moment all the ones closest to us are full. So I'm in a bit of a pinch right now.
Oh, is that right? Well, that's too bad for you guys, right?
Right. So that's why I'm wanting you to come and take care of my mom when she gets out of the hospital. You can come and care for her after you finish work. So please do this for me.
Huh? Why? Why are you asking me?
Well, because my mom will be in need of help. I have to have someone around who can care for her since I won't have time to do that.
Sure, but that doesn't mean that I'm the one responsible for her and having to care for her, right? And I don't want to do it anyway, so no.
What? Wait, what's wrong?
You and I broke up months and months ago. Is there any reason for your ex-girlfriend to be coming over to care for your mom at all? She's not my mom.
Wait, what? Wait, I don't understand what's going on here. Last time when my mom caught a cold and wasn't doing well, you went and took care of her for a week, right? Why are you saying no to me this time around?
Okay, so at that time, you were still my boyfriend, and to me, she was like someone who would one day become my mom, right? Right now, you and I are exes, and to me, you're nothing more than a stranger. I don't want to be going out to take care of some random stranger's mom, and I don't even have the time for that anyway. Yet for some reason, you're acting like I was just going to hop right up and do it for you. Did you just assume that I would be all right with that?
Then what am I gonna do about her?
I don't frickin' know, you idiot. How about you ask your own damn wife to take care of your mom for you?
But currently, Kathy is a bit... Well, right now she's not home. She told me that she had some very important things to do back at her parents' house and such, and left the house. And after trying to call her 20 times now, she hasn't answered even one of them. I'm not sure what this means for me and her, Ashley.
In other words, she's gone and abandoned your ass, right? I guess the only thing about her that's so good is her ability to run away from you. Well, her having ran away from you, or whatever the hell, has nothing to do with me and my life, so...
No, wait, hold on for just a second, please. I am really in serious trouble at the moment, Ashley. Ever since you and I broke up, nothing has been going my way, and it constantly feels like I'm failing at everything. Kathy has run away from me, the whole entire house is like a landfill now, and all of the food I buy tastes terrible. My work has been going downhill for me, and all of my friends are starting to leave me as well now. My mom has collapsed and can no longer remember who I am even. What the hell am I gonna do about all of this now?
Stop asking me about all of that. How about you use that last remaining brain cell of yours to think of something? I have nothing to do with your sorry ass anymore. Now goodbye for the rest of time. After that, Cameron came all the way out to my place where he and I had been living together before. He was able to come to the door and knock on it for a long time, but when one of my good friends came by and asked him what he was doing, he told her his intentions only to be met with her telling him to screw off. Thankfully, I had already finished all of my preparations for my move and didn't have to see him face to face when he came to the house. He then went from the man I had set him up to be when we were dating to the worst employee ever at his company, as he ended up not only failing at so many projects, but he pissed off one of the most important customers to the company as well. This led to his boss telling him he was either going to lose his position and be transferred to somewhere else, or he'd be fired. But just before that could happen to him, he gave an excuse that he needed to stay home to care for his sick mother and left his job for good. However, when it came to helping care for his mother, he did anything but that. He never was able to pay for her to get into a better facility that had openings, and he wasn't able to hire a caretaker either. He didn't really do anything for her himself and just started to sit around at home all day in his room, turning into a hermit who would soon forget about society altogether. And to this day, it sounds like his mother, who can barely move or remember anything herself, is having to take care of the fool and herself the best she can. From what all the neighbors around them have been saying, neither one of them ever leaves the house anymore, and the only activity they ever notice is food being delivered to the place and left on their porch. When it comes to Kathy, she went all the way back home to her parents to inform them that she would be getting a divorce from Cameron. But it turns out that the customer who Cameron had really pissed off worked for Kathy's father's company and had complained to her father about how he couldn't work for the company anymore after that. Because of what Cameron had done, he caused a lot of trouble for her father's company and had led to him having to take full responsibility for the lost contracts that were caused by Cameron. He became a much heavier drinker after that, and this caused his wife, Kathy's mother, to stop wanting to live with him. So when Kathy cried out saying that she'd leave Cameron and everything, her mother and father told her that it was her fault for marrying such a disgraceful man before kicking her out of their house and out of the family. Thankfully, that ended her mother's desire for leaving her father, and they started to work on their relationship and her father's company again after Kathy was out of the picture. Kathy ran all the way back to Cameron thinking that at least she had him around. But when she got back to the house and saw that it looked like a landfill, she made a U-turn and ran. For a bit, she would just go to the nearest 24/7 cafe and lay around crying all the time, using up whatever money she had to eat and drink and sleep there. But after she had realized that she had to do something more than just moping all the time and left the cafe and got back out into the world after a week had gone down, currently she's going back to all of her old friends, hopping from one house to another trying to keep herself from becoming homeless. But things like that have only led to more drama and trouble between her and her friends are leaving her one after another now. Perhaps Cameron is like a god of pestilence, and all of this mayhem that's been unfolding was all his doing from the very start. Thinking back on all of this now, had I never broken up with him and forced him out of my life, it would be me having to care for both him and his mom all the time, and that is a thought I really don't want to have again. As for myself, I have had a ton more time to myself and have been using it to go and study things like the stock market and other languages, trying to make myself an elite. And after a few months of studying, I brought all my newly learned skills to work and showed my higher-ups the woman I was becoming. This led to them giving me a promotion and a raise, which has landed me on the business team, which will be heading overseas to help with a new office there really soon. I've already begun moving across the globe to my new home, which gives me the security I needed a lot of, never having to see Cameron ever again. And now that I'll have a brand new life for myself in a foreign world, I'm going to make myself into that elite which I'd always been making my ex-boyfriend seem like. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.
You're not fit to become my older brother's wife, you know. Now, you give him back that engagement ring right now and leave him alone. And cancel that wedding you guys have planned as well. And then you get the hell out of our faces forever. Again with this? I could have sworn that yesterday was going to be the last time you spoke to me about that, but here you go again. You backstabber! I will not allow a backstabber like you to get married to my brother. He has too much writing on his name right now for someone like you to be doing what you've been doing behind his back. And like I've been saying all the other times, my fiancé doesn't have a little sister, so who are you? I'm certain that you have the wrong person here, so could you please tell me who you are? Shut up already. I won't allow you to trick my brother like that any longer. From what I've picked up so far, you really seem to think that my fiancé of all people is your older brother, even though he doesn't have a little sister at all. But he does. He has me. I'm his little sister. He's my older brother. Then how about this? How about you tell me your older brother's name? You already know what his name is. He's the man you've been lying to this whole time. I just want to know his name. Stop trying to derail this conversation. Oh my God. I just asked a simple question. As long as you just leave him alone and never ever come back, everything will be solved. So you pay my older brother and I that settlement and then get the hell out of our lives. What settlement? How can you even get a settlement from me over something that's not possible? Hey, Dale, once again, I received more texts from that random person today. And this time they were even more upset with me and threatening me with a settlement even.
What? Again? That means they've been texting you about that for 3 days in a row now.
And like always, they're asking that I leave you right now and that this whole time I've been stabbing you in the back over something.
Abigail, are you gonna be all right?
Well, considering none of what she's saying is the truth, I'm fine for now. It's just that if they keep this up, I'm going to probably have to block them in order to shut them up, which I don't want to do when it's best to settle things.
That's true. Who knows what all of their intentions are, and if they know where you're living right now and things like that.
Kinda scary, isn't it?
I would really love to know what all of this is about, though. I don't have a little sister. At least not one my parents told me about. And as far as I'm aware, there was never someone in the past that ever called me their older brother that wasn't a part of my family. Also, back when I was 2 years old and my parents got a divorce and then remarried to different people afterwards, my mom told me that my dad never had kids with his new wife. And my mom said that I'm the only kid she's ever had.
In other words, you're saying there's no choice that this person is a child that your dad had at one point and is wanting to call you their brother now?
That's what I'm saying.
I asked for them to at least tell me their name or something so that we'd have a better idea of who they might be, but they don't seem to want to answer that question. They just keep on going back on how I need to leave their older brother, pay them a settlement for backstabbing him in some way, and then never come back.
That means they know the whole jig'll be up then if you find out who they are. But from what your phone says, the ID came up as R-E-M-E, right? So their name is Reme? I've never heard of anyone having a name like that, and I can't even tell if it would belong to a boy or a girl.
Now that I think about it, you've never received any calls or texts from a person like this before, right?
Yeah, and that's what makes all of this even more strange. And what that person has been saying is that you are tricking me somehow, and that's what's leading me into marrying you, right? So basically, they don't know who I am. In other words, they don't hear my name from you. Then they're going to continue thinking that I'm their older brother or something, right?
Good point. Why do I have to be caught in the middle of all of this?
So they have no clue who I am, then?
Or they at least don't know what your phone number is.
Another thing, what could it be that you're lying to me about in order to become my wife?
They haven't told me that part either. They always want to keep going at me, saying that I need to leave their brother and all, and will never give any of my questions a thought.
Well, we have 3 more days until our wedding. It would be great if we could put an end to all this, but without knowing who they really are, there's no way. You've already called the wedding venue and told them about this, right?
Yes, but I'll give them another call and give them an update on what all has been said to me just in case. I've acquired a target of the backstabbing witch. So this means you really are going to try to marry my older brother then, right? Well, that's not going to be allowed. I won't allow you to have this wedding with him today.
Abigail! I heard that while you were walking out of the dressing room, you were ran into and had wine spilled all over your dress. Are you all right?
Yeah, I think I'm fine. Well, I think I'm fine, but this wedding dress state is another story. It's all covered in red wine.
That's what I heard. I'd really love to come over there and be with you right now, but...
Hey, don't worry, Dale. I have my little brother with me at the moment, so I'll be okay for now.
All right. The one who did that to you, Reme, I have no clue where they ran off to yet, so until we've found her, please don't leave the dressing room and stay with your brother. I'm going to continue going around talking with all of the staff here. I have to find that Reme so that we can figure out what the hell is wrong with her and how to fix all of this once and for all.
I'm sorry that I can't be out there to help.
Don't even begin to worry about that. That's right. As for today's wedding, no matter what happens with Reme, we're still going to have it and get married. So don't give up yet.
Of course. I've done it. When it comes to red wine like that, once it's deep into the fabric of the clothing, it is very hard to get that stain out, right? Now the only option you have left is to cancel that wedding. Next, I'm going to find out where my little brother has been this whole time, and there I'll explain to him just how horrible of a witch you've been behind his back, and that will lead to him never wanting to be with you ever again. This is such a thrilling sensation. Can I ask you something really quick? What do you want? I'm a bit suspicious about who it was that gave you my phone number and everything, so could you please tell me who they are? A classmate of yours. After having to go from friend to friend asking about you, I finally was able to come across them and ask about who you were and what your contact info was. And if you're wondering how I got into this wedding, I went and used that classmate's invitation that you'd sent them and was able to sneak in disguised as them. Ah, you're talking about that person. So that's what they were talking about when they said they lost their invite and wouldn't be coming. Then there's only one other thing I have to ask. What's your name? My phone gave you an ID when you first tried to call me, that being Reme. Do you read that as Reme or do you read that as Remy? Huh? You're supposed to read that as Remy. Remy. So your name is Remy? It's spelled Reme, but you read it like Remy. Are you not able to do something as simple as that or something? You thought something like that would be simple for me to understand when most people don't have a name like that to begin with here? Dale, I was able to ask Remy for her real name and she gave it to me.
Oh, seriously?
She has it spelled as Reme, but you're supposed to pronounce it as Remy. She told me I was stupid for not being able to pronounce it as such and got all mad at me over it.
Huh? Now that I think about someone named Remy...
Do you have any idea who this might be now?
I just think I've heard that name before, but someone with me right now does think they know who we're talking about here, so let me chat with them for a second.
All right. Well, now that I know how to pronounce your name and all that, let me ask you something else. What were you planning on doing by running into me and spilling all of that red wine onto my dress? I told you already that it was part of my plan that would lead to your wedding getting canceled. I had to put a bit of thought into how I was going to do that, but of course red wine was the right choice. It really stands out on an all-white dress and is something you can't really get out with a washing machine or anything like that. So now your only option is to have the wedding canceled, right? Oh, this is such a wonderful sensation. This is an ending fit for someone like you who would dare stab my brother in the back like that. Now, having done my part, I'm heading back to my place now. Bye-bye! Remy just told me that she's going to be heading back to her house now.
What?
Well, it's not like any of us really know where she ran off to begin with, right?
About that. Something actually seems to be going our way there.
Huh? What do you mean by that?
We just did a head count on all of our guests that are still here and have come down to there only being one person missing. And so after talking with those who know what she looked like and know that she's not here, we've narrowed it down. In short, my dad is calling Remy's mom right now to have a talk with her about her daughter. They live in the same area we do, so it won't be too difficult for us to get her.
What? Does that mean...
I'll explain things to you in more detail later, all right? For right now, let's focus on our wedding, which is running a bit behind schedule now, but I'd like to get going on it. You think that's all right?
Right. That's fine by me. I was told by the wedding planner that my new dress would be on the house, and luckily they had another design that I really loved, and so I'm happy with this.
Perfect. Then let's get this wedding on the road.
Hey, what the hell does that mean when I've been told that yesterday's wedding never ended up being canceled, even though your wedding dress was stained red? Luckily, the wedding venue is also known for having a dress rental shop inside of it, so I was saved by that last minute. Huh? I get why you might be surprised right now, considering that having to get another dress on the day of one's wedding is a very difficult thing to do and is practically unheard of. There are some people that prepare a second dress to have in their dressing room just in case something bad were to happen, but that wasn't the case for me. I just got really lucky that the rental shop's owner was there and was willing to lend me a dress that I really loved for free. You got another rental? Well, none of that really matters to me anymore. And even if it is the truth that you were able to have that wedding yesterday, that does not change the fact that you've stabbed my brother in the back. As long as I can go and show him the evidence of you having stabbed him in the back. All right already, I am fed up with you always going back to calling me a backstabber without even listening to a thing I'm saying. Now tell me, when did I ever stab Dale in the back, and what did I do to make you think such a thing happened? Huh? You're still not going to confess to it? That's right. Neither myself or him are aware of anything that I did wrong, and that's why I can't confess to anything right now. What? Now you explain what the hell it is that you're going on about right now. You are going out with another man from that apartment building named Kevin, right? Huh? He's in apartment 203. I made sure to hire a detective to look into you in order to protect my brother. You hired a detective? Tell me, how much did something like that cost you? Around $10,000. I may have lost all my savings in order to do that, but if it was to learn the truth about you, then it was a cheap price and worth it to me. You really wasted all of that money for nothing? Huh? That Kevin you're talking about, who I've been seen with, happens to be my little brother that lives with me. What? Your little brother? And that room 203 that you were mentioning happens to be a condo my mom bought close to 15 years ago that the three of us have been living in together. In other words, that place is my family's house. But 2 years ago, my mom got remarried to another man and moved out of the condo to go and live with him at his place. So she allowed for my brother and I to continue living there instead of moving us all out. So you're the older sister and he's the younger brother? By the way, with my now getting married to Dale and starting a family of my own soon, my little brother is going to be moving out into a place closer to his place of work. Today, actually, is Dale's first day living with me here, as my brother moved out just yesterday, taking all of his things with him in. No way. I know you went through all that effort of asking a detective to look into us, but it seems they were a fraud and you just got scammed out of all your money there. Nice going, Remy. totally zoned out there for a bit and didn't realize what all was going on for 3 hours there. But now that I'm back in the moment, I'm going to make sure that you and my older brother can't stay married. Why are you still trying to fight this? Because I just hate the idea of some kind of a back-talking and sassy witch like you becoming my sister-in-law now. Well, here's the thing, Miss Peanut for a Brain. Like I had told you many times before, Dale doesn't have any little sisters, all right? Therefore, you're not going to ever become my sister-in-law, so you don't have to worry about it anymore. Huh? You're still going on about all of that? And that is why we made sure to go and talk with Dale's mom about you, who said she had no clue who you were. And then we went and spoke with his dad about you to see if he had any idea why a Remy was talking to me. What? You went and spoke to his dad about me? Well, his dad happens to be my dad as well, right? Dale is an only child and has never had any siblings. Well, you're wrong about that, for crying out loud. We may not share the same mother, but he and I have the same father, and we are brother and sister. Since you're so confused about that, how about you go and have a word with your own mom about whose baby you are, and that might clear some things up for you. What the hell is going on here? So it turns out that my actual father is already dead now? So you went and asked about who your real parents were then? My mom told me that she brought me along when getting remarried and that it led to me thinking that he was my dad. Originally, my mom was just going to put me up for adoption, but those around her told her not to do that. I was 7 years old at the time all of this happened, and she made sure to explain to me that the new man she was marrying would be my new father, but I just assumed that I knew that man to be my dad and that he had never died but rather left for a little while. So has this helped you understand that you have no relation to Dale at all when it comes to being siblings? Oh, this isn't good at all now, though. What am I supposed to do about all of this now? What are you whining about now? I went around to all of my friends and my boyfriend bragging about how I'm the little sister of this really famous YouTuber and all. And I promised a lot to them, including my boyfriend, that one day I'd show him all of them. What? A famous YouTuber? Dale. He has a YouTube channel where he goes by the name Delalala, right? Oh, that's right. Hey, please. Can you go and talk with my brother about coming out with me for a few days to see all my friends and my boyfriend and tell them that he's my older brother and everything for me? I just need him to do that to each and every one of my friends one time, and that will be all. I'm not sure what you're going on about there, though. Dale is just your average office worker who has nothing to do with content creation of any sort. Huh? I mean, he works on editing videos for the company he's employed at, but they aren't making them for content either in terms of entertainment. Did something about that confuse you? Well, I'm sorry to say, but the company works in things like crime analytics, and he has to make recreations of crime scenes for the police and the court to use in investigations. What? Then that would mean, the reason the YouTuber Delalala never got back to me after all those messages I sent to him about his fiancée cheating on him, and they shouldn't get married, was because, well, you just had the wrong person, right? What? I see. So that's why when I would talk with Dale about what was going on with you, he told me he had never received any texts or calls from you and was just sitting around with no idea at all about what was going on. No way. You have to be kidding me. I've gone and done something seriously embarrassing now. Oh, what am I going to do about all of this? I can understand starting to freak out a lot over what you've done, but I have something else I need to talk to you about now. When it comes to that wedding dress of mine you went and stained with red wine and ruined, there is a price on that dress being damaged like that. There also happens to be a price on causing the wedding to be postponed by an hour like that. Also, there is a price on wasting my time and energy. What? In a few days, someone will be coming out to see you with all of those bills for my wedding dress and the wedding being delayed, as well as information on the settlement I'll be getting from you. What? Also, when it comes to my classmate that you went and stole that information from in order to come to my wedding with, neither of us are going to take you to court or anything over it, but she did go and tell your mom about it with the help of Dale's dad. What? Sounds like you're going to have to pay my friend for causing her that trouble as well now, through your mom. Huh? I'm going to have to pay you guys all that money? I'm sure for a college student like you, that's a lot of money that you're going to have to pay us with, but make sure you include every penny we're asking for. This has to be a bad dream. Hey, what am I supposed to do here? That YouTuber that I had been telling you about before just sent me a bunch of paperwork in the mail about getting money from me through a settlement over something or other. And I got a call from his lawyer as well. Hey, what am I supposed to do about all of this now? Why are you coming to me about all of that? Because I have something I wanted to ask you is why. I want to ask you to please help me stop him from thinking that I actually meant any of those things. About him being my older brother and such, and about how his girlfriend was cheating on him with another man and that he shouldn't marry her. Please help me with that. Why are you asking me to do that, though? You don't even know anything about me besides my phone number. What? So you're not friends with that YouTuber? Did I even say that I knew who they were? I don't even watch YouTube to begin with, so why are you asking me to do something that I have no clue about and don't care about either? You were the one that caused all of those problems between yourself and him. No way. I am blocking your number now, all right? I have absolutely nothing to do with you, and I don't want anything to do with you. So, this is it for me then. After becoming a little bit interested in whoever this YouTuber even was, I went online and saw that he didn't even look a thing like my husband at all. And after talking with Dale's dad a bit more, he told me that Remy had never even met Dale or seen his face before either. The fact that she was able to get into such a confused state over someone she didn't even know at all is beyond me. And I'm sure I'll never be able to understand what happened in her head there. A few days later, I got a formal apology from Remy's mom about what had gone down, saying that she was ashamed of her little girl. And along with the formal apology, she went and paid that settlement off that I had asked for from Remy, as well as for the ruined wedding dress and the extra wedding fees. Her mom would then hold that debt over her daughter's head for years to come, asking that it be paid off before she even tried to marry anyone herself. Due to what she'd done causing so much trouble for her and a lot of her friends and family, she was forced to drop out of college and start looking for a job. She started to send me a ton of messages about how her wonderful life as a student in college was ruined, and about how so many of her friends and family, as well as her boyfriend, had cut ties to her. I had totally forgotten to block her, actually, and so all of those sob messages from her about those things reminded me of what I needed to do. And I blocked her that day with no intentions of ever unblocking her again. And when she was getting ready to give up on even trying for a job, her mom set her up with this construction company where she'd have to go into the mountains and work for months at a time, living in a small trailer without any cell phone reception at all. I think her mom just needed her to go somewhere where she wouldn't be able to cause the rest of us any more trouble and would be making money she could never spend in order to pay off all of her debts. As for myself and Dale, a few months after he had come and moved in with me at the condo after my brother had moved out, we decided it was time to move out of there and into a new place a bit farther away from everyone. We told my mom about it, who then went and had the place sold before giving me the money for it, and told us that we could use it on any home we desired to have. And so after we went out and searched all around for somewhere that would not only suit us well, but had some security to it in case Remy ever came out looking for us, we landed on a more modern condo instead of a high-rise building closer to the center of the city. Thank you for watching and listening. We hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe. Also, feel free to leave a comment about what you thought of the story. We look forward to seeing you at the next story.